Hello and welcome to Beach Lane's second Autumn Festival. And here we are with Luke Aldred.
It is indeed, yeah.
Who is our resident artist for this festival, who's done obviously all the artwork on the walls over here. So welcome, Luke.
Good morning, thank you.
Thank you for being here. Now let's have a chat with about some of your artwork. So let's go this way. Now, Luke, which artwork shall we have a chat about today? This one? This one here?
Let's stop
Yes.
at these pieces, yeah.
Oh, sorry. And tell me about this piece, Luke.
Okay, well, this is a Sikh soldier from circa Second World War, I'm guessing, from the photograph. It's an image that I just think worked very well. The execution of it, how it actually looks, and I was just generally pleased with certain things that just came together in the production. When you're making art and pictures, you have this idea of how they want to turn out, but that can be generally like a vague idea sometimes. But this one was a fairly clear idea, and from beginning to end, the execution, it came out how I wanted to. So yeah, reasonably successful.
Great. I like the colours. Yeah. Now, this next one over here, Animal, is from Sesame Street.
Yeah, Sesame Street, Muppet Show, all that kind of, felt-based puppet genre.
Yes.
So yeah, again, a striking image. Is obviously a bright, almost day glow colours, so I wanted to go for that. I'm not a natural sort of colourist. I find choosing colours, mixing colours quite hard. I'm more into the line and the sort of contrasts. Most of my colours either come from the $2 shop or Bunnings spray paint, so I don't spend a lot of time perusing artist supply shops.
Bunnings. Bunnings.
Am I allowed to? That wasn't advertising, was it?
No, but tell me more about Bunnings paint. Are we talking like house paint?
Yeah. They're just household paints, spray paints. The acrylics that I do use, again, are, $2 shop kind of things. I'm very much a household items kind of artist, and that kind of works. I think we're going to talk about this a little later on if we can, the kind of constraints that I have with time-wise and full-time job, parent. So time, money, always an issue. So if you're going to Bunnings on a Saturday to, get some coat hooks, why not swing by and pick up some paints as well?
This is not a sponsored ad for Bunnings, by the way.
Yeah, sausages are great as well. I've got to work within my limitations, my constraints. So, yeah, that's the kind of materials wise. I've got a feeling we're spending too much time talking about Bunnings now. Do you think we should?
Okay, sorry, everyone, sorry. Okay, now there's a big one, a big painting over here, another animal painting. Do you quite like Animal?
Well, that leads on to, I guess, the benefits of stencils. Is that they are, because they're all stencil-based pictures. They're not painted freehand, so it'll come from an image that I would have downloaded, sort of traced over it on acetate, on a sheet of acetate with a good old Sharpie. If I want it small scale, I'll just cut it out with a scalpel at that A4 sort of size. If I want it bigger, I'll use, again, a good old OHP overhead projector, blow it up onto a bigger piece of paper, a bigger piece of card, cut that out. So, what I'm going to with all this is that they're both using the same stencil. So it just means you can reproduce an image, if it works. Because you never know if it's going to work until you actually put the paint to it. You might have spent a couple of hours, doing the tracing and the cutting out, and all of a sudden, it's not quite what you had in mind. So when they do work, I'm very keen to use them again. I'm into the reproducing kind of nature of it, almost like a cheap fanzine kind of style. That goes with the colours as well, the bright, garish colours. I don't have much time to figure out subtleties in the work, so it's kind of get it down, get the paint down. If it works, great. Reproduce it, try that, see if that magic kind of hits again. So that's obviously a big one with the whole picture. Whereas this one, if you just go smaller, you can focus on smaller aspects. So you know, it's all about the nose, the eyes, and the teeth.
And so is Animal a bit of a from the kids or a childhood kind of?
A little bit of nostalgia creeps into the work, I think, because I tend, I start off with things that I like and I remember from my childhood, some of the elements. Not the Tarantino pictures, obviously, because I didn't watch them as a child. But,
no.
So just things that, come from my memory, come from my experience. So yeah, and I knew it was going to be some images you can tell are just going to work better than others. So that risk that I was talking about beforehand of a stencil not quite coming together, if you've got something like that that's quite dynamic and, the high contrast, I guess, that's what stencils, again, lend themselves to, a high contrast. So if you've got a high contrast between a great big open mouth and staring eyes, can't go wrong.
Okay, now any other artwork that's kind of stands out as a particular favourite or... Yeah, sure. Come on down this way. Okay, now what have we got here? We've got the 3 pictures.
Okay, yeah. Again, these aren't from any, particular one source. At the time, I just had a feeling that I wanted to produce something that had a vintage style to it. So they're obviously sort of, late 18th century, bad boys in bowler hats. So there's a bit of an image that I wanted to convey. They've all got the bowler hat. It's all quite a bit of a striking image. They're all from vintage photographs. I like the fact that some of them are kind of vaguely well known. Some of them I think are figures from American history, so sort of notorious or notoriety. But without actually pinpointing who they are. So they're not as obvious as, Animal, for instance, or, Clint back there. So there's a bit of ambiguity there. These are the most recent ones. I finished them last week. You can see they're quite quick. I use I use a palette knife to apply the paint on the faces. That gave them that sort of cragginess, and then the spray on top gave it another element. So I was quite happy with how these came about. And the colours, again, colours that just pop. They're a little bit anachronistic because they don't necessarily suit the period, but that creates a nice little sort of contrast between the image and how it's produced. Yeah, and I just think they work well, and yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thanks so much for that, Luke. What we might do is just have a bit of peruse through the cafe and then go for a stroll out the back if you want to join me. Yeah, so come on. So we've got some reading time happening down here, just with Eleni and some of the little kids down here, which is great. So we're just starting to get some kids reading time happening on a regular basis. So, come on through. Now we have Forbes, who is the manager of the cafe here. Forbes, come and say hello. Hi.
Tiffany, how are you?
Doing?
We're great. How are you?
Now, Forbes recently had a little baby, only a week ago.
Yeah, Monday.
Yes?
Monday. She was due today, but she came 6 days early and surprised us all. But yeah, little Tia has joined the family. We're very excited. We joined the Beach Lane family. Very excited. Very excited.
Very exciting. And where's your lovely wife today?
She's at home, just hanging out, just resting.
Hanging out with a newborn.
Yeah, having a good time. Yeah. How's everything going here? Everything looks wonderful.
Everything's great. We're live streaming. We're live.
Very exciting. Very exciting. I haven't live streamed before. No, not yet. This is my first time. Or his first time too, I think.
Okay, well, we'll continue on through, shall we?
Have fun.
So this is where the cafe magic happens. So we've got coffee making Beautiful food. People running around in the cafe as per usual. And might come out this door here. This is our famous laneway here. If you have a look down. Flowers. Beach at one end, Napina Highway at the other. Sorry, excuse me. Now down here we have the first Mandela Market, and we're really excited to have them on board for this market. Funnily enough, our first autumn festival, we had a market, and this is our second autumn festival, which will have the Mandela Market as well. So we didn't have any markets in between, but thinking of having it as a regular occurrence for these markets, for these workshops. Here we have Amanda, who is the brains and the wisdom behind the Mandela Market. So, hi Amanda, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So we'll just have a bit of a chat to Amanda. Now tell me about your vision for the Mandela Market.
So the vision behind Mandela Market was to do a collective of artisans that are emerging and established